Hi, I'm Kate, also known as the Daily Tarot Girl, and welcome to my tarot meaning deep dive video into the Ace of Pentacles. So before we dive in, I just want to let you know that I have created a minor arcana tarot cheat sheet for you. If you want to grab your copy, I'm going to put the link below. I designed this cheat sheet to be really easy to use and work with during readings, so I hope you have fun with it. Okay, so Ace of Pentacles. Now, this is the very first video, the first card that I'm doing in the minor arcana. So I've already done deep dive videos into the majors and into the court cards, and now I'm moving on to the minors, starting with the aces. So the aces in the tarot all signify a fresh start of sorts. They all have to do with like a new beginning, a new opportunity, a new start. They all have this kind of like fresh new energy to them. I actually love the aces. And if you're doing a reading and you're, say, asking like a yes/no question, I always see the aces as being like a yes card. So I am going to dive into the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to tell you all about the symbols on this card. I'm going to tell you what this card means when it comes up in a reading, what it means when it comes up reversed, and I'm also going to give you some really fun tarot journaling questions at the end of this video. So the Ace of Pentacles is from the suit of Pentacles, and Pentacles are aligned, or they correspond with the element of earth. So you can think of the suit of Pentacles being all about the earthy, physical aspect of life. So I think of things like finance, money, the body, health, home, maybe even work, physical objects. It's about the physical, material experience that we have living human lives. And of course, Ace of Pentacles is number one, so this is all about a new start, a new beginning, new energy. And some keywords to keep in mind with this card. Oh, and I should say, the card that you see on your screen is from the Giant Rider Waite Tarot. So some keywords to keep in mind with this card: new beginning, new plan, getting clarity on your path. And when I refer to your path, I mean maybe like a career path, a financial path, a health path, something to do with the physical realm again. I think of the Ace of Pentacles as being about planting a seed, and there are some tarot decks that will actually depict this card. The pentacle is an actual seed being planted in the ground. So I think of Ace of Pentacles as being all about planting a seed. And so you could think of like starting a new project, getting a new idea for something, but planting some sort of seed. So there's potential. There's a lot of potential with the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, when it shows up in a reading, can signify the beginning of something that could turn into something really big for you, or it might not. Who knows? It has the potential to. The Ace of Pentacles is about taking the first real steps towards something and kind of laying the foundation. So having a plan and then taking the first couple steps towards that plan. So some symbols to pay attention to on this card. There's 5 main symbols on this card that I'm going to tell you about. And I'm gonna tell you what those 5 symbols are right now, because the way I'm gonna talk about them, I'm gonna kind of talk about them all at once. So the most obvious symbol is the hand holding the pentacle. And then we have the mountain in the background, the hedge that's kind of blocking the view to the mountain, and then we have the archway and the path. So we have archway, path, hedge, mountain, and the hand with the pentacle. So let's start with the hand and the pentacle. So one little aside here, one really interesting thing is if you look at all of the aces together, you'll notice that each ace in the tarot has a hand holding the symbol of that suit. And notice how the different hands behave. So with the Ace of Pentacles, we have the hand kind of gently holding the pentacle like it's offering something. So I see this as something's being offered to you. An opportunity is being offered. It can also represent a goal, something to focus on, but typically something here is being offered. And if you look at like some of the other cards, like Ace of Swords, the hand is like firmly gripping the sword with determination. Ace of Cups, it's more kind of a gentle holding. So it's really interesting just to notice how the hands are behaving in the aces. Okay, so let's look at the mountain. So the mountain in the background represents something in the distance, and I think of it as like something that you want to achieve. So it could be like a long-term goal, a big achievement. Just think about, seeing a mountain in the background and thinking, I want to climb that mountain. So that's what the mountain kind of represents. It's like a long-term goal or a challenge or something that you want to achieve. Now there's a hedge that's kind of blocking the view of the mountain a little bit. And this is really interesting. So we don't have a perfect clear view of this mountain. We see it, but we don't see it in its totality with the Ace of Pentacles. And that is because the Ace of Pentacles signifies the need to have a vision and a plan, but you don't need to know every single step of that plan. It's important to know, okay, there's the mountain and I want to climb the mountain, but you won't necessarily know how you're going to climb the mountain or how long it's going to take you. And the path to the mountain isn't a direct path. The path only goes to that archway. And then once you step through the archway, you'll be able to see the rest of the path. But right now, it's not super clear how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to go. But we see part of the path. So we see, a big chunk of the path. So we have a sense of what the next couple steps are going to be. And that's really the important part of the Ace of Pentacles, is that it's telling you it's good to have a vision, it's good to have a plan, but ultimately you really want to be focused on what that first step in your plan is going to be, or the first couple of steps. You don't have to know what all the steps are going to be. In fact, it's probably impossible to know all the steps that you need to know at this stage in the game. So once you take that first step towards something that you want or in the direction that you want to go, then the next step will be revealed in due time, and so on and so forth. And then the archway is so interesting to me because the archway represents almost like passing through something, passing through a gateway, passing through, it's almost like an initiation of sorts. Like you make it to the gateway and then you have to pass through. And once you're through on the other side, the rest of the plan becomes more clear. And then the path itself is a symbol. So a path is really just a series of steps and actions that you take to get from point A to point B. Okay, so some advice and messages that this card has for you. So when it comes to advice and messages that we get from the minor arcana cards, I always feel like the minor arcana cards speak to us in this really kind of down-to-earth, almost like neighborly way. So if we think of the major arcana cards as being like the celebrities of the tarot, the public figures of the tarot or the historical figures of tarot, the minor arcana cards are like your friends and neighbors and coworkers. So the major arcana really speaks to like spiritual patterns, big events, epiphanies, archetypal energies, kind of they're the big movers and shakers in the tarot, whereas the minor arcana cards are more about day-to-day life and they're kind of more down to earth. So let's just kind of keep that in mind as we're diving into the minor arcana cards. So communicating with the minors to me feels more like conversational and kind of relaxed and more kind of down to earth. So the advice that the minor arcana, or that the Ace of Pentacles has for us, is to devise a plan. So anything that you want to do, you need to have a plan. And when I think of devising a plan with the Ace of Pentacles, I think of maybe devising some sort of financial plan, a money-making plan, a health plan, some sort of work or career plan. It usually has to do with something that is of the physical, earthly realm. Ace of Pentacles also tells you to focus on figuring out the first step of your plan. Don't worry about the 8th step or the last step. Focus on the first step or two. That's what's important here. Ace of Pentacles also advises you to have a vision, but have like a general sort of loose idea of where it is that you want to go, or what is it that you're trying to create, or trying to achieve, or trying to experience. Having some sort of vision is important. You don't have to be 100% clear on what it is that you want or what you're moving towards, but you have to have kind of a rough idea. That's the wisdom of the Ace of Pentacles. Now, I love this idea of the cards having kind of an external way that they manifest in our lives and an internal way that they manifest. So what I mean by this is the Ace of Pentacles, if we look at this card in an internal way, so external is like going out into the world and doing things and interacting with the world. Internal is going inward and playing around with, thoughts, exploring your feelings, etc. So internally, the Ace of Pentacles is advising you to formulate a plan. So that, that relies on kind of thinking about something, planning something, and just focusing on kind of the overall goal and the first steps you're going to take. It's about getting clarity on where you want to go. So that's a very internal experience. And then when we take that into the external world, the external advice of the Ace of Pentacles is to get out there and take that first step. So take that first action step in the direction that you want to go. Now, if the Ace of Pentacles appears reversed in your reading, it can symbolize having difficulty formulating a plan or setting a goal. It can also indicate having trouble making a fresh start or, changing course, going in a new direction. It can also symbolize wasting an opportunity. So notice how when this card is upright, we see the hand kind of offering the pentacle. But if you flip this card upside down, that hand is like this. It almost looks like it's playing basketball. It looks like it's about to just chuck that pentacle on the ground. So I think reversed, it could be, there's an opportunity being presented to you and you're just squandering it. You're wasting it. Okay, so let's talk about tarot journaling for a second here. So I love journaling about tarot. I find when I journal about the cards, I'm able to have this direct experience with the cards. I'm able to connect with the card on a much deeper level. So I'm going to give you some fun journaling questions here to try out if you're so inclined. You can just use one of them or all of them if you want. So the first question is, what seed are you planting? When you look at the Ace of Pentacles, what seed or seeds are you planting in your life right now? What is your long-term goal? Do you have a long-term goal? And what baby step can you take towards that goal today? What new goals are you setting right now? And by the way, I'm going to put all these questions below this video. There's also going to be a blog post version of this video as well, and all of this is written there. I'll link to all of this stuff below. What new goals are you setting? And what first steps are you taking? What new opportunity is being presented to you right now? And then the question that I want you to share with me, if you're open to that, is how does this card show up in your life right now? If you want to share in the comment section below, how does the Ace of Pentacles, how is it showing up for you in your life right now? So I'm going to share a little story about myself, how the Ace of Pentacles is showing up in my life. So one of the seeds that I'm planting right now is I want to write a novel. So that's the seed, this idea, I want to write a novel. And if I think of like the mountain in the background of the card, that's my big goal, that's my vision. I want to write a novel. So the first baby step that I took towards that was joining a writing group. We meet on the weekends for 2 hours and we just sit silently side by side writing, working on our novels and short stories. So that was my first baby step. Second baby step is to actually show up to the group on a weekly basis and spend 2 hours a week doing creative writing. So that's how the Ace of Pentacles is kind of showing up in my life. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned lots about the Ace of Pentacles. Let me know what you thought below. And of course, give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. It really helps my channel. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.